Hey, it's Kevin. Thanks for coming by for the No BS Social Media Chat. This week we're talking about your image on social media. And I don't mean how you're portrayed, conservative, liberal, anything like that. I'm talking about your visual image, how you portray yourself online with social media. Because I think it's important. But what's more important is not how you portray it, it's the consistency of your portrayal. One of the things I've been preaching now for over a decade is being consistent across social media with how you present yourself. And here's the reason why. Most people want to take a shortcut when it comes to creating content for social media. And they think, well, I'll just put up a new profile picture. And do I need to get something on Facebook? I'll just put up a new profile, or here, this is a cute picture. And what they don't realize they're doing, especially again if we're using it to build our personal brand, to build our company, to build us professionally, is that they're sending a confusing message by doing that. Because in reality, what we've got to think about is how people consume social media. Think about it. If you're on Instagram, do you notice the picture first? Sure, you notice the picture, but you may not necessarily like it or comment on it if it's not somebody you care about, especially when you don't control the feed. So what you're looking for is what the profile picture is. What's the name? Is it consistent? Same thing with Facebook. You see the little circular photo of the person up front. Is it somebody you want to pay attention to before you even look at the information? Same thing with Twitter. We're all bombarded with so many people on Twitter. How do we know it's somebody we want to pay attention to? Well, it's that profile image. And not just the profile image, but it's also the header image, the background image, whatever you want to call it, that are used on YouTube and on Facebook and on Twitter. They're kind of like the header of the channel. It's the big, broad picture, which sadly none of them match, so you have to do varying differentiations of the same picture sometimes. But it's worth doing that. It's worth about keeping the same consistent image. Now, I say that, and if you go to my Facebook right now, the header image is actually different than what's on my YouTube and what's on my Twitter. And that's on purpose because I'm doing an experiment with those. But my profile image is always the same. In fact, over the course of the last 10, 12 years, I've really only used a couple of different photos. When I decided to go with the goatee full time, I changed it to a goatee picture. Now, if you see my podcast, I've still got a picture of me, one of my original promo photos from a few years back, without the goatee. Yeah, getting out and shooting a new photo image for the podcast isn't necessarily one of my biggest concerns right now. But there's no doubt about it. The hair is the same, the skin's the same, the body looks the same, it's still me. But it's important for people to see that consistent you. A lot of times too, a lot of people want to put a picture as a profile image of you and a couple of other people, you and a family member, you and somebody famous. And again, it's cute to look at, but at the same time, it's not helping you when it comes to building your image because you're not standing out, you're not jumping out. People aren't seeing your big old head. If you go to my Facebook or my Twitter or whatever, my big head, just like it is right here, is smack dab in the middle of that photo. Nice white background. It's good. It's, well, somewhat professional, but it's clear. You know it's me from the moment you see it. That's why a lot of people ignore me. They know it's me. But I think it's important to consider your visual image when you're online. Now, it's not to say you can't change things, but when you do change them, don't change them out willy-nilly every week, every couple of days or whatever. It's nice to have a nice little frame around your photo on Facebook. It's great to be a part of a cause. But if you're going to have a frame, make sure you have a photo that's going to be easily adaptable to a frame or a variation thereof, so people will still notice it's you. They won't see the frame so much, but they'll still see your face. And I know it's boring, and I know it's not fun, and well, I'm taking creativity away from you. But again, what are we trying to do here? We're trying to build a personal or business brand. We're trying to grow our influence online. And the way to do that is the visual cues. Not about being necessarily cute or fancy, but being consistent. And I know consistency can be boring, but in the case of social media, sometimes consistency can be a good thing. So really stop and think for a moment if you're going to change that profile picture. That is the big key across all of them. In fact, I use the same variation of a photo across almost every single social media channel there is. Unless I want to hide, unless I want to do something differently, and then I do it on purpose to look different so it doesn't look like it's me. But here's the key. If you want to be creative, go ahead and change out the header, the background image, if you will, on a regular basis. But make sure they're consistent. Make sure if somebody sees that background, they'll know why you changed it, and more importantly, they'll see it across the other ones and they'll equate the two. So, because sometimes people will go to your YouTube channel and say, oh, I know that person. They may not necessarily remember the name. We wish they would, but they're going to remember a face. They're going to remember a visual. The visual cues, the pictures tell a story, better than 1,000 words. Well, you're going to see it here too with all of your online images. Try to be consistent. Again, I know it's boring and it's not fun. It's going to benefit you in the long run, and that's what this is all about. Remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. How many times have we said that before? Back next week, another No BS social media chat. NoBSSocial.com, the place for all the videos. Our website, IntensityMedia.com. If you want me, my phone number, email address coming up here at the end of the video. Would love to chat with you. We can talk more about social media, whatever the topic is, even your image. See you next week. Thanks.